My name is Artur Pawlowski. I am the pastor who was jailed for 51 days in solitary confinement in metal cages, threatened with my life during the COVID mandates. And to this day, I am still on house arrest, facing over 10 years of imprisonment for simply standing up for God and state given rights under our Constitution and the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. To this day, we are being persecuted and prosecuted by the state in the province of Alberta. A perfect example is my friend, another pastor, Derek Reimer, that is being threatened by the authorities with tens of thousands of dollars worth of tickets for simply feeding the poor on the streets of Calgary. As you remember my story, I have fought those tickets since 2005, over 100 court cases, 340 citations, and 16 arrests. So the story continues, and if you want to know who is real, who is willing to stand up for you, and actually who is going to keep his word. In the Bible, it says, by the fruits you shall know them. In other words, when you look at the politicians and you see what they say, but they actually go and do what they promise, then you know you're dealing with the right type of an individual, right type of a politician. What we see right now is flip-flopping pancake politicians that will say one thing today and totally different tomorrow. When you look at the Sky Palace hypocrisy, when you look at the ministers that did this to us, brought this tyranny on their own people, like Tyler Chandra, Casey Madhu, when you look at Travis Taves or Nixon brothers, when you look at Kenny, when you look at those people, they're still somehow behind the scenes pulling the strings and keeping us under the gun, chained and shackled. Fellow Albertans, in the past 3 years, we have all suffered greatly. And then in just a few months ago, we received a beacon of hope, if you will, in the form of Danielle Smith. But here is the problem that I'm seeing right now in our beloved Alberta. Promises, words, following more words and more promises, but so far nothing has been done. I remember when Danielle Smith was running to become the leader of the UCP party, she was giving us promises. And here is what she said. That the moment she's elected, she's going to free the political prisoners that were hammered without mercy in our beloved nation. She's going to come and publicly and personally apologize for what has been done to the pastors, just like me, for the imprisonment, illegal imprisonment of clergymen in our province of Alberta. She promised that she is going to not only apologize and meet with us personally, but she is going to recompensate us for the hardship and the hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions, that we had to spend to defend our God and state-given rights. Why is this not happening? Months are becoming years, I guess, in the political realm of the UCP government. Nothing is happening. The promises are not being fulfilled. Why is this happening? Why Danielle Smith is not fulfilling her promises? Why to this day we still have boys in prison facing tens of years of imprisonment for simply defending their rights? Why politicians right now like Marco are facing over 10 years of imprisonment for mischief over 5,000 for simply being with the people, defending their rights? Why this government is not fulfilling the promises that gave to all Albertans? Why we're still facing hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of legal fees for simply doing what every person, including the politicians, was supposed to be doing? Is it because the cabinet ministers from the Sky Palace hypocrisy are not allowing her to do that? Does she have power or willingness? Why is this not happening? Maybe perhaps because she was told that they would embarrass them, that they would, for whatever reason, They think that their careers would be jeopardized. Why is this not happening? Why we're still facing trial? Why in just few days there is a jury selection in Lethbridge for the 3 boys that have been charged months after the Quds border protest? Why am I still on house arrest for simply being with the truckers that stood up for our rights, that defended the God-given Constitution and the Charter of Rights and Freedoms? Why we are still facing this atrocity, just like in North Korea or Soviet Russia? And as you can tell by my accent, I have seen this movie before, and I'm telling you, if we will not stand up and rise up, if we will not do what's right, we're going to see a repetition of history. And I'm telling you, that movie does not end well. It does not end well for you and for your children and your grandchildren. What kind of a province are we going to have if the politicians will just simply refuse to keep their promises? In the end of the day, what do we have if not our words? If I say something, I do my best always to fulfill what I say, to keep my word, because in the end of the day, I don't have anything else to offer but to tell you I'm going to stand up for your rights. I'm going to defend your children and your grandchildren. I'm going to stand up for the prosperity that used to be the strength of our beloved Alberta. I remember when I learned about the motto of this great land, strong and free. The idea of being strong and free is dear to my heart because we were hammered under the communism and socialism. Are we seeing the repetition of history? Are we seeing the same movie again? Are you okay with that? Are you okay with the prisoners sitting in jail without due process, denied bail? What happened with innocent until proven guilty? What happened with that? And why this premier is refusing to do what this premier promised that she is going to do if elected? Well, she got elected. She was sworn into the office. She is the premier of the province of Alberta. Why am I still on house arrest? Why people are still in prison, denied bail? While at the same time, under the leadership of this government, pedophiles are being let out on bail. Repeated offenders, people that have been caught over and over again with violent crimes, drug trafficking crimes, or weapon crimes, are being let out the next day without a problem. Why KC Madu, after his statement, when he was the Minister of Justice and Solicitor General, and he was sending all the armed forces against us, locking us down and shutting our churches, and then later on publicly stated that all of that was political, had nothing to do with keeping us safe, or it was not based on science. And knowing all of that, coming from her own cabinet, from the people that are still in power, why she's not dropping the charges? Why? That's what's on my heart. And I believe that's what's on your heart as well, on your mind. Why is this not happening?